Hello, welcome to another Stu's Music Quiz. We're almost coming up to date this week. You only got to think back 3 years to 2018 this time. See how up to date your knowledge is. Of course, it may be recent, but for many of you out there, it'll be much harder because you haven't been paying attention. Well, we'll see, won't we? Okay, usual format, 30 questions, 30 answers. The answers will come at the end of the quiz, so you can see how you've done. Let's get on with it. Okay, let's start with some trivia. First of all, which stalwart of the UK music press left the print world after 66 years on the 7th of March this year? The stalwart of the UK music press that left the print world after 66 years on the 7th of March. Now, number 2, what became the first track to reach #1 in the UK on 4 separate occasions with the same lineup? Right, lots of conditions there, but you get it. The first track that reached #1, okay, this is in the UK, 4 times, 4 separate times, and did it with the same lineup. Okay, 4 separate occasions, same track, same lineup, reached #1. What was it? The clue to that is the year 2018. Think of things going on in 2018 that might have propelled it now and in the past to #1. Okay, number 3. Who became the first female rapper to score multiple #1 hits on the Billboard chart? In fact, she actually scored multiple #1 hits on the Billboard chart this year. So she extended her record. The first female rapper to do that. Huge star if you've got any kind of awareness of the current music scene. Right, let's have a quick name that album. I introduced this in more recent ones here. Here is an array of clues to an album. Okay, some pictures, some words. This is an album that, although it was released at the end of 2017, everything that happened to it happened in 2018. Okay, and as you can see, it was the top-selling album of 2018 in the UK. It contained 4 of the year's top 50 songs in the UK. It spent 22 weeks of the year, not in a row, at several different times, on top of the UK album charts. If you can get that one. Okay, we'll have another one of those later. Let's have some lyrics, though, now. Could be a challenge for you here. All you got to do is fill in the missing blanks. I have used the appropriate number of stars to fit what is missing. What about this one? I'm a rebel just for kicks now. I've been feeling it since now. And they've been feeling it since. Wow. That's for you to have a go. Number 6, slightly more here. 1, don't pick up the phone. You know he's only calling because he's drunk and alone. 2, don't let him in. You have to kick him out again. 3, don't be his friend. You know you're going to wake up in his bed in the morning. And if you're him, you ain't getting him. 2 words to fill in there. Half a mark for each one. Although I can't imagine you get one and not the other, but there you are. They kind of go together. Okay, number 7. Oops, I got 99 problems singing bye, bye, bye. Hold up. If you want to go and take a ride with me, better. What? I mean, there's kind of clues in the words there, but anyway, oops, I got 99 problems singing bye, bye, bye. Hold up. If you want to go and take a ride with me, better. I do appreciate that might completely fox you, but there you are. And finally, number 8 for complete the lyrics. She said she too young, don't want no man. So she gun call her friends. Now that's a plan. I just ordered sushi from Japan. Now you're want to kick it. What fits in there? Now, I don't think it's too much of a clue to think that the rhyme kind of helps you slightly there, but Yeah. And I've cut out the nasty word. Not quite poetry, though, is it really? Where did the ordering sushi from Japan suddenly come in there? Does he mean sushi? He's actually ordered it to come all the way from Japan. Or is he just informing us that sushi comes from Japan there? Who knows? Lyrical genius. Right, here's a test for you. If you know your figures of 19, sorry, of 2018. Who's this? Simple question. Who is that? Now, just to make it clear, that's not me putting that over someone's head to say you have to spot who's underneath their head. That's actually them. They go around wearing that on their head. Who is it? Words I haven't the foggiest, echoing around the room. Okay, number 10. Let's get some album covers going. This might be a bit more up your alley. Okay. I want the album name and I want the artist, please. The album name and the artist, where this is the cover. Cracking album too. As is this. Again, the album name and the artist. As you can see, I've covered up any clues. Number 12. No, it is not the Beastie Boys being re-released, but I think that the artist is well aware of the reference here. But who is the artist and what is the name of the album? And last album cover, what a wonderful album this is. Can you tell me the name of the album and the name of the group? One of my favourite groups of all time, this. Not sure that's a clue for anyone out there, unless you happen to know me. But there we are. Right. Let's have a quick trivia one thrown in to help you if you're floundering at the moment. 3 of the top 10 albums of 2018 in the UK, yes, albums were still selling, were film soundtracks. 2 of them were The Greatest Showman and Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. What high-profile film remake produced the third? So there you go. 3 of the top 10 albums, film soundtracks. One's The Greatest Showman, one's Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. I want the third. And it came from a high-profile remake. Okay, let's get some oldies here, because it's not just the newbies coming in here. It's not just people with white tins on their head and painted on faces. We have some oldies here. This is a real oldie. Who released his 14th solo album? Not his 14th album, but his 14th solo album, including The Invitation to Fa You, an elegy to his guitar, and what he called an acoustic meditation on present-day contentedness. His 14th, it's nice to know that he's contented, though. It's nice to know that. His 14th solo album. Who was it? Who am I talking about there? Another good album, too. Okay, so number 16. Which American folk singer, most famous for her work in the 60s, released Whistle Down the Wind, her first album for 10 years? Whistle Down the Wind. American folk singer famous for her work in the 60s. And one more oldie, not quite as old as those two. This is a 90s alternative band with a name that, according to their lead singer, is both beautiful and ugly. Released their first album for 23 years. A 90s alternative band. Now, I'll give you a kind of feel-good bonus if you can also tell me the other alternative band that released their first album for donkey's years with the same lead singer in it. If you didn't follow that, don't worry about it. But yes, she apparently reformed 2 alternative bands this year. Must have had a sudden burst of energy. Okay, on to our cryptic albums. 3 for you this week. Our cryptic albums are just basically where I've used a range of clues, visual clues to represent a high-selling, well-known album of this year. You just have to decipher the clues. For example, here you go, number 18. You know, there's a chance, even if you've never heard of the album, you might get this one. But anyway, never mind. Right. Number 9. This is the pace, by the way. I say this every week. Must remember to say it this week. It's not cheating to pause the video. Okay. On the rules of Stu's Music Quiz, you are allowed to take as much time as you want. I just go through quicker so it doesn't last forever. Right. Number 19. What about this? And the biggest selling albums of the year? What is it? And number 20, and this one is slightly more cryptic. Those two on the left need to kind of go together. Definitely one of the best known albums of the year. But also what my most obscure clue. Okay, if I've puzzled you too much, let's move on to another Name That Album from this point on. Okay, name that album. Again, like the previous one, there are a number of clues here for you that should give away one of the biggest selling albums of the year. A few pictures that go with things, and some lyrics, some facts, a quote there from the writer, that's the one in italics there, from the artist themselves. From arguably the biggest star in the world at the moment. Okay, right, so on to Name That Tune. Again, for anyone who's not taken one of these quizzes before, because of the harsh copyright laws that do not allow me to actually play you anyone else's music, even in tiny snippets, it means you have to have the music played by me on the piano, which I have next to me here. Now, that sounds all very well, but of course, in many cases, what you're meant to hear isn't meant to be on the piano, and even more so than that, I'm not a pianist either. So it can tend to be plodding and slow and not completely accurate. You know, think of it as the Les Dawson round. Right, this rumbling is me readjusting the microphone so that it suits what I'm going to play. Right, so first of all, here comes number 22. It's only a small snippet of the tune, but you have to name for me what was a massive, massive hit of 2018. Everywhere that summer, wasn't it, this one? Let's try it one more time. Is it so sure? I said play it twice because it's short. Really, it's play it twice because it's actually something I could play and make sound good. It's so basic. This one may not be. Okay, so number 23. I'd love to play this at the pace it should be, but I probably can't. Okay, number 23. Name this tune. Made it. Go on. I'm going to try it again. I can always cut this out if it doesn't work, can't I? There you go. Beautiful, eh? That was number 23. Another huge hit from there. Number 24. Another massive one for you. This one was kept, although one of the biggest hits of the year, was kept off the #1 spot by the artist from the Name That album that you've just had. There you go. I did think about playing the next bit to you, but I probably don't need to, or shouldn't do. Should make it a bit more cryptic there. But anyway, I'll try it again. There we go. Nearly through it unscathed. Number 25 now. Number 25 now. Yep, that's the chorus from the song. Let's hear it again. Okay, there we go. Let's adjust that mic back. Get it back to where it should be on the setting for here. Hope you did all right with that. Right, I asked you who is this for that strange white bin-headed man earlier. Here's someone else. Who is this? A figure of the end of 2018 and 2019 and 2020. But anyway, who is this man from the end of 2018? There's plenty of clues there. Okay, a couple of covers now for you. Cover versions. Which Britain's Got Talent star had a huge UK hit in 2018 with a cover of Robin's Dancing on My Own from 2010? It hung around for ages. Mind you, everything hangs around for ages in the charts these days, the way they do it. Huge UK hit with a cover of Robin's Dancing on My Own from 2010. And if that was too British for you, here we go. Here's an American one for you. The band Weezer covered which classic 82 track, 1982 track, of course, which was 23rd in the 2018 Billboard adult charts for that year. So it's a big hit over in America. I don't think it was released in the UK, although we've got plenty of airplay here. The band Weezer covered which classic 1982 track? Now, the clue for you here is that the original version of this track is apparently played on a permanent loop in a location in the Namib Desert. Don't know if that helps you at all, if you didn't know. Right, let that ponder. What about number 29? Number 29. You may recognise this man from a number of things. What's that program about the shadows? The vampire program. He's on that. He's on a number of different programs. But I want you to tell me who he is, because this year he released his 7th album, which was a bizarre collection of slightly reworked TV themes from the 70s and 80s. The name of the actor who released his 7th album, a collection of reworked TV themes. And finally, a nice easy one to let you on the way out, because I had to bring this up. What milestone did the Now That's What I Call Music albums reach this year? What milestone did the Now That's What I Call Music albums reach this year? There's your 30. We're going to move on into the answers now. So if you need to go back to any of them, rewind now before I give it all away. Just before I just before I move on into the answers. Just a reminder, you've seen, of course, down the bottom of the screen on every single slide that we've had, my Just Giving address. This is why I do this quiz regularly, in a hope of raising more money for Young Minds, my favourite charity, who do an awful lot of work, good work, to help the huge epidemic at the moment of young people suffering from severe mental health issues, especially in the current situation. Please do visit that and just give me a donation, no matter how small. It's if you've enjoyed this at all. Okay, let's find out how you did. Okay, the stalwart of the UK music press. There's an argument that this could be, maybe Rolling Stone could just kind of push it out of the way, but otherwise the most famous music publication in the world, quite possibly. It is, of course, the NME, the New Musical Express, started back 66 years ago as a jazz magazine, I believe, commenting on things there, but went online only from the 7th of March. We all know our NME period, don't we? All have our NME period where we used to buy it. Mine was about 89, 90, 91, around that time. Okay, number 2, what became the first track to reach number 1 on 4 separate occasions? Same lineup. I said the clue was the year 2018. It's a World Cup year. It was once again Three Lions. The 4th time Three Lions had reached number 1 with Baddiel Skinner and the Lightning Seeds. Okay, number 3, the female rapper. Well, if you haven't heard of her, she's a huge star. It's Cardi B. Okay, absolutely huge star out there at the moment. What's this album? The 2017 album. It's a soundtrack album. You may well have spotted. What have we got? No clues there. We've got on the left-hand side, in the picture there, we have a little bit of the album cover, some spotlights going down, which might have given you a little hint towards it. On just beneath that, we have Jenny Lind, the Scandinavian singer, who, well, in a fictional version, sings a song on the album. On the right, we have General Tom Thumb, who appears on some of the songs singing in there, but is more of a star of the film. That's the original General Tom Thumb there. And up above that, we have the original P.T. Barnum. Yes, this, of course, is The Greatest Showman. Absolutely massive. As I said, released in 2017, right at the end, but it's a 2018 album. There's no doubt about it. Greatest Showman soundtrack. It was just dominating that year, wasn't it? Okay, number 5, the lyrics. What have we got here? We have Portugal the Man with Feel It Still, don't we? I'm a rebel just for kicks now. I've been feeling it since 1966 now. It's the next bit that goes 1986. I'm not giving it to you if you said 1986 now. Yeah. The first one's 66. Always makes me... I thought when I first heard this song, it was something to do with football again, because it was near the World Cup. It starts going about 66, then it goes on about 86. And of course, 86 was very, we were very unlucky to be knocked out in the quarterfinals. That's what I thought, but never mind. Obviously nothing to do with it whatsoever. Not even British, are they? Number 6. This is, of course, Dua Lipa's New Rules. There's her 3 new rules. Don't pick up the phone. Don't let him in. Don't be his friend. And there's the reasons why. Because if you are under him, you're not getting over him. Well, wise words from Dua for us there. The year she went stratospheric, wasn't it? 18. Okay. Oops, I got 99 problems singing Bye Bye Bye. Hold up, if you want to go and take a ride with me, better. Well, this is obviously a list of bits of lyrics from songs from around this time. And it is Better Hit Me Baby One More Time. The song's called 2002. It's by Anne-Marie. Even if you don't know, you could probably work out. Anne-Marie may be singing it. This is an Ed Sheeran song. That's so Ed Sheeran, isn't it? To list all these references from his youth. Anyway. I don't think they're all from 2002, are they? Certainly Hit Me Baby One More Time, was it? So there we are. Right. Number 8. I suppose it's what he was listening to in 2002 when he was probably about 13 or something. She said she too young, don't want no man. She gun. Actually, you don't want to hear me say this again, do you? This is the lip missing names are Jackie Chan from Tiesto and Jekko featuring Preem and Post Malone. There's a lot of people performing on that record, aren't there? Yes. No idea why. I mean, she's going to want to kick it like Jackie. What's she going to kick? I don't know. Like Jackie Chan, isn't it? It's very disturbing. But anyway, he did order sushi from Japan. It will be arriving in 2 to 3 weeks' time. Okay, who is this? This is a man called Marshmello. He's one of the big producers, DJs of the time, of the period, and still is today. And yes, he wears a white bin on his head like that, like he's a marshmallow. Yes, that is true. What do we got at number 10? Now, this is a bit more like it, isn't it? This is your post-punk band, The Idols, with Joy as an Act of Resistance. And very joyful it is too. Number 11, what have we got here? We have the lovely, now is it Parquet Courts, I assume it's pronounced, and Wide Awake, or Wide Awake, as it says down there. Cracking album there. Number 12, who's this? This is Eminem, of course, with Kamikaze. Why is he referencing the Beastie Boys? I don't know. It's not his greatest album. Maybe that's why. I don't know. Whether it's meant to be an homage or not, I have no idea. Number 13, though, this is a much better album. This is a fabulous album. This is the wonderful Suede with their release, The Blue Hour. Most recent album to date at the moment, and what a wonderful album it is too. Who was to know that Suede's comeback would be almost as good as first time round? In fact, I'd argue that their comeback, their 3 albums, I'm not a big fan of Bloodsports, but their 2 most recent albums match absolutely anything except for the first 2 in Suede's discography. Okay, number 14, trivia. 3 of the top 10 albums of 2018. We mentioned The Great Showman already. There's Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. The 3rd came from A Star Is Born, the remake of it with Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper, which had also a hit on it, Shallow, didn't it? That was number 1 for a very, very long time. Armchair Oldies, who released his not particularly an inviting invitation to Fuck You. Don't know what he thinks he's up to there. A rather nice elegy to his guitar and a lovely song that's an acoustic meditation present day contented. This is Paul McCartney in the beautiful Egypt Station. It's a lovely album, well worth listening to. Absolutely adore it. Right. Now, hopefully you got a bit of a clue, even with this being slightly more obscure as an album. The American folk singer, most famous for her work in the 60s, of course it's going to be Joan Baez. Still going. First album for 10 years there, right. And finally, up to the 90s, an alternative band released their first album for 23 years. The name that's both beautiful and ugly, it's Belly. Tanya Donnelly, also, I said a bonus one, reformed The Breeders this year as well, and they had a re-release. Actually, to be honest, I think the Breeders album from this year is better than the Belly one, but there you go. I thought the Breeders were better than Belly anyway. Right onto the Cryptic album. What have we got here? We've got some kids. What's happening? They've seen some ghosts, because it is Kids See Ghosts. Kanye West's side project. It's only a 23-minute long album, this, but it's very, very good. Much better, certainly, than Kanye West's own release that year. Yay. Kids See Ghosts. What about this one? Well, do you know what that is on the left? That is a beer bong. Now, I should have really had more than one of them because it's beer bongs, but I'll give you away if you only said beer bong. And what are all those to the side? They're Bentleys. This is Post Malone, another absolute star of the year. Facial tattoos and all. Post Malone's beer bongs and Bentleys. Maybe that's his lifestyle. Doesn't appeal to me, to be honest, but there you go. Right. 20 Cryptic albums. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm amazed if Post Malone could get himself insured on a Bentley. Honestly, what insurance company is going to insure him? It's just not going to happen on a car like that. Anyway, never mind. Cryptic albums. What's this one? Well, look, the time is short. for this little man here to finish his inquiry. And what's his inquiry that's going to have to be brief into? Well, it's into relationships online, as you can see. This is that 1975 pretentiously named album, A Brief Inquiry into Online Relationships. The second name, that album. Now, the bit on the left is there because of the hair. You know, if you know this guy, you know his hair. That's there. And if you don't know him, then maybe the picture down the bottom gave it away. No, it's not a duck. It's a male duck, isn't it? It's a drake. And what have we got up in the corner? It's a scorpion, because this is Scorpion by Drake. Look at that. He gets his words from his English teacher mother, who's a Scrabble champion. She inspired him to things such as, I finessed down Western Road. A nest might go down a God. Yeah, wait. I go hard on Southside G. Yeah, way. That'll win you Scrabble, won't it? And number 22 and 23 and 24 and 25. Name that tune. Did you get them? Hopefully the first one you did. It was everywhere. Everyone must have heard Shotgun by George Ezra. That was flying away at us. What about number 23? Big hit at a time. Havana, Camila Cabello. Making her way as a solo artist with that as a hit. 24 was No Tears Left to Cry, Ariana Grande's release that kind of referenced the difficulties she faced after the Manchester bombing. Kept off number 1 by Drake's God's Plan. Forever. Strangers was the last one by Sigrid. Sigrid, Scandinavian singer. It was a big hit. It was around quite a bit at the time. Distinctive. Definitely the most difficult one of those 4, though. Hope you're doing all right. We've only got 5 left here. Who is this? I gave you the clue. It wasn't just from the end of 2018, the end of 2019, the end of 2020. This is Lad Baby, who started his run of 3 Christmas number 1s here with We Built This City on Sausage Rolls. The other clue, of course, is if you look at his top and his guitar, they appear to be sausage rolls. 27 covers. The Britain's Got Talent star had this big hit with Dancing on My Own. We slowed it right down. Is Callum Scott. If you know your Britain's Got Talent, I think you'd have got that. If you don't, you wouldn't. The Weezer covered the 1982 track Africa by Toto. Yes, Africa by Toto is played on a permanent loop somewhere in the Namib Desert. And the thing that plays it apparently is on a solar controlled playback system, so it can go on indefinitely. Let's hope you don't live near that. That could be disastrous for your lifestyle, couldn't it? Yeah, Weezer did it. The story goes that the reason Weezer did this is a bizarre story, was that one of their fans sent them a tweet begging them to cover it, just out of nowhere, saying, I want to hear you do this song. And apparently it went back and forth for a little bit, and eventually Weezer, just to kind of shut her up, I think, did a version of Rosanna by Toto, the other song by Toto, for those of us in the UK who don't really know Toto very well. And that led to them finally apparently doing their version of Africa. There we go. If you listen to it, it's not hugely different, I have to say. Right, number 29. What have we got? This actor who released his very strange album called television themes. It is Matt Berry. It's well worth listening to if you don't know that, if you don't know the album at all. But number 30, I'm sure most of you were much happier with this. The milestone that now that's what I call music albums reached. It was Now 100. They hit 100, and to celebrate, Now 100 had only 1 CD of new songs, which, bearing in mind some of the stuff we've heard from 2018, probably is a blessing. And on the second side, it gave highlights from the 100 albums all the way through, beginning with, I believe, Phil Collins' You Can't Hurry Love, which started the original That's Why I Call Music album. It's a bit of a bland collection, though. I mean, it was things like Angels and Hit Me Baby One More Time. You know, they didn't really put much thought into it, I don't think. But anyway, there we go. Well, I hope you've done all right with that. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you so much for taking part. There'll be a new quiz in 2 weeks on a different year. No idea which one this time. Don't forget that the reason we do the years that we do is we work alongside Richard Shaw's 5 albums from a particular year, which finishes this coming, a fortnight this Friday. At the moment, as you say, it's 2018. Go away and listen to as many 2018 albums you can find. Come up with your top 5 and tweet them to him on a week on Friday at 7 o'clock over the weekend. Then he comes up and will come out with what is the most popular album from that period. My money's on Idols at the moment to win it, but there you go. I didn't mention him at all in here, but my choice is BC Camplight, Deportation Blues. Great album. Go and listen to it. Go and listen to all BC Camplight stuff. He's fantastic. Please, please, please donate if you can at all, as I mentioned before, and do subscribe to my channel. The more subscribers I have, the more it helps get the word out here, and do pass it on and let people know. Join me, follow me on Twitter if you like, retweet my tweets advertising this. Let's get this out there and get people doing what they can with it. Okay, thanks for hanging around. Hope you did all right and enjoyed it. See you soon.